Welcome to the Pagan Perspective. My name is Angel and I am your Friday host, and today we're going to be talking about rewilding witchcraft. Okay, so the question comes from Zombie Panda, I think. Zombie Panda. I just read Peter Gray's article / essay, Rewilding Witchcraft, and I was wondering what your and the other host's thoughts are on it. I'm going to put everything down below so you all can read it, and the essay is lengthy. A little wordy, in my opinion, but very informative, very truthful, and very depressing, to be frank. It's extremely depressing. It's there because it's so lengthy and there's so many points to hit on it. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to tell you what it made me feel, what it made me think, and you guys can read it and see the information, because there's no reason for me to regurgitate the information that you're going to read anyways. It is definitely worth reading. Period. Initially, when I started reading the essay, it started talking about how witchcraft has basically lost its teeth. It sounded very much like, witchcraft's just trying to be part of the mainstream. We think we're accepted, but we're not. Blah, 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 blah. I tend to disagree with that. Yes, we are not as accepted as other religions are, but we're getting there. And the thing is we're not being burned anymore or tortured, which is a big plus. And, there are still countries that people are being murdered for being witches and for being gay, too. So, yes, as a civilization, we have a long way to go, but I think that from where we were just a couple hundred years ago, we've come a long way. So I think we are as accepted as we think we are, because I don't think that pagans, witches, Wiccans, whatever you call yourself in this particular vein of paganism, we're not, at least nobody I've ever met has been in a fantasy land about what people really think about us in mass sense. So I don't think that we're living in a fantasy land about that. I think we are accepted as much as we think we are, and we know we still have a lot to fight for. So I kind of just disagree with that to a certain extent. Have we lost our teeth because we're trying to be part of mainstream? No, I don't think we've lost our teeth. I don't think that we, as long as we're still doing magic and we still do the I don't want to say rituals in the sense of specific, but the rituals we do in our life that keep us connected to this path, whether it's healing animals or it's working with herbs or crystals or what have you, as long as we are doing those things, we are connected. We have our teeth, being part of the mainstream, I don't think is a bad thing, and I don't think it is. We're not flying. We're not flying, but we're not running around acting like we are Harry Potter. We're real about it. So, no, I disagree with that. Now, the essay goes into the extinction of man and animals and the planet and everything we're doing to it, and horrible descriptions of how we're going to end up, basically. Again, it's worth reading. It really is. I know I'm not selling it, but it was kind of a downer. But I think this is what I took away from it. My first initial reaction was the problems that the essay talks about as far as nature and animals and the environment and ecosystems and all of that together it made me feel like it was such a huge thing to give a crap and to work to save any of it. Like, oh, why bother? I mean, it's gonna end anyways, but you should still try. Which is, what? So, this is anything you watch, anything you read, anything that you have a sense to that might be uncomfortable or jolting or what have you. It's not the information that is the enemy, so to speak. It's how you deal with it, I think. For me, my initial reaction was, holy crap, how am I going to really lower my carbon footprint anymore? Or, you know, donate more money to more causes, and on and on and on. But I started to realize, much like our community, is that we, not sure what's going on with my gerbils, I'm sorry. We as a community may not have a leader. I think this was a video we did not that long ago. But we have all singular voices that can make a huge sound. And I think that if everybody does a little bit of something, or a lot of something, you know, it may seem overwhelming, but if we do it collectively, we can make a huge change. My husband and I recycle everything. Everything. We compost everything biodegradable. And we literally throw a bag of trash away every 3 months. Once every 3 months. And that is still too much for us. We don't want to do that. We would like to have solar power and wind so we can get off of the oil, because we heat our house with oil, which will be in the works eventually. You know, we donate significant amounts of money to different funds. So we do our part, which sounds really, it sounded better in my head, really. We do our part. We do a part, you know, but we want to do more. And we're trying to figure out ways to do more and still live in the life we live. Because you have to remember, we can't all just stop and live off the land. You know, we can't. I mean, some people are doctors, some people are attorneys, some people are, you know, these different things that society still needs. Society still demands. And people still have to feed their families. But instead of, you know, maybe catching fast food on the way home, you go to the grocery store and you pick up some stuff that you can make at home that's locally grown, organic, what have you. Maybe that's the change you make. Maybe you do recycle. Maybe you started recycling. The point is that the essay really kind of felt like there's no hope, but you should still try. And I think that's wrong. As long as we are here and trying, there's always hope. So the biggest push for me this coming year is to find ways to improve my carbon footprint usage, or lessen it, I should say, not improve it, but lessen it, and to make my home more self-sustainable, meaning vegetable and fruit gardens, herb gardens. You know, this summer I want to set up the rain buckets. We are in a well. Different things like that. I have a lot of different things that I want to do once we don't have 10 feet of snow outside right now. So, I guess do what you can and try to do more. when you can. But be realistic about it. You can't, don't look at it. Don't look at this essay and think, I have all this stuff I have to do. I have to save animals, I have ecosystems, I have to recycle, I have to do this, I have to do that. No. Take one thing. Just one thing. Change the way you do it. Research it. Find out a way to do it better. Because at the end of the day, yeah, we all might be tree huggers, but we all share this planet. And if you're going to share this planet with me, then the least you can do is take care of it, or the part that you are on using, you know. I think as pagans, we, for the most part, educate ourselves much more than the general public when it comes to, except for environmentalists that aren't pagans, because we are so connected to the environment. We are so connected to nature. We do feel so connected to the mother. So we probably are all doing something already, but maybe it's time to kick it up a notch. But not look at it as this huge thing. Don't let this essay get you down, because it kind of depressed me, to be honest with you. Although, like I said, very truthful, very informative. I mean, aside from being a total downer for me, I mean, it is what it is. It's telling you the state of things. But it also kind of made, at least me, feel like there was just no hope. And I just don't agree with that. I think everybody's going to read this essay and touch on something different, with different perspectives. But then that's why we're all here, right? I mean, for different perspectives. So I'm interested in seeing other people's takes on the essay and seeing what they felt about it and what they're going to point out, because we all have a different way of dealing with everything. So it's going to be very interesting. Anyways, I'm sorry I wasn't here last week. I had some vehicle problems, but thank you, Tara, for the substitute, for filling in. Really appreciate it. And yeah, I think that's it. So until next time, thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of the week. Next week's subs week, so I will see you guys in the week after. All right, everybody, have a great week. Blessed be. Bye.